Hello and welcome to my show, TikTok, where we talk about what makes successful people tick and what it took for them to pursue their passions, follow their dreams, and achieve their goals. I first met my guest backstage at one of my very first fashion shows. I was a shy and meek newbie, and so I was so awed and terrified of this famous top model and wife of a top basketball player. She spoke her mind, she was very assertive, stylish, so well put together. She truly owned the room with her mere presence. She made such a huge impact and impression on me. Little did I know that we would, in a few years, work together closely for decades. She was Cosmopolitan Philippines' first stylist and fashion editor at large, and became the magazine's favorite personality development speaker. Her expertise has since reached iconic status in the country. Please welcome Image, Etiquette, Civility, and Protocol Specialist, Olen Lim, also known as Miss O.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Hi Myrza. Thank you for
Hello,
having me.
hello,
Thank
hello.
you.
Good afternoon. Yes. Thank you for saying yes.
Of
How are you
course.
today? I love how you match my background.
Thank you. Okay, at least na match ko siya, and I'm trying also, try to match, everything else. Thank you. Thank you so much. I didn't even know you were pink, so thank you for that.
So you had a class today, this
Yes, I had a
morning.
class today. I had a great run for online training, and I'm very happy that we're having that back again. So happy ako that we're back in action, we're back in training. So pretty much very pleased with that. And so I hope that the clients will be listening, coming in, and they seem to be very receptive now. So that's good.
What was your topic today?
Our topic was professional presence. So it's a 6-day program that we had because we only have it for 2 hours in a day. So because syempre, ang tao kasi, we have a goldfish as a better, what do you call this? Parang attention
Attention
span
span.
than people, di ba? A goldfish has 9, tayo we only have 8. So we only carry the class for 2 hours in a day. So it expands to like about a whole week or 6 days, depending on the number of hours that we're doing it. So
Glad to know that. So
yeah.
maybe people already know who Miss O is, but maybe let's talk more about what you do. So what is an image consultant?
Okay, well, as an image consultant, our job is to help our clients make educated decisions on what to wear, how they would present themselves on the basis of the ABCs, which is appearance, behavior, and communication. So it's a powerful tool that people use so that they're able to, manage perception. They're also able to sell their personal brand and of course get ahead in life, and the success in life.
I like that in your website you call this whole thing life branding. What do you mean
Mhm.
by that?
Well, because it's not only, because it's personal branding, how we call it, but really more of what we do as us at OJL Consulting is we sort of like brand the life, because we're able to set the tone, okay, of where you want to go as your goals, what are your future plans, no, and we set you up for that. So it's not more of just one lane, but we set you up for life, kumbaga. So that's why we call it life branding. And we get to talk about a lot of things in our session. So it's about pretty much everything.
Tell us how you got into this whole thing. So as I mentioned in the intro, I met you. We were both still modeling, and then I
Yeah.
think for a while I was teaching in John Robert Powers.
That's true.
And in
That's
John
true.
Robert Powers, you had been teaching for a few years already. And what
Right.
were you? You taught everything from visual poise to makeup to what else did you teach there?
Lahat na yata. Well, that was where, well, obviously, the love for doing what we do with fashion and all really started with modeling. And I give credit to Bong Gacho, who pick me up in the lobby of SM, you know,
Pick
and
you
like
up.
pick me up, as in literally na,
Discovered you.
ikaw, do you want to model? Yung ganon. Because
Oh,
kilala niya
wow.
my sister. My sister was first the model. And, you know, I was
Ah,
just this 14-year-old tag-along. And when that happened was when he saw me, you know, told me, oh, alika na, I have a shoot upstairs. So dinala na ako sa
oh,
taas. My
wow.
mom was with me. So they were close with my mom. So dun pa lang we started already with lulutan, gun, and all. So that's where the love of fashion, the love of, I guess, you know, all of this came in. And because I was in school, I didn't want to, you know, parang I want to be able to finish school. So hindi ko siya, ayaw ko siyang i-manage in both ways. So I want to be able to finish school. So what I did was, you know, while in school, I'll do commercials kasi that has more money before. And then I'll do ramp paminsan-minsan, you know, to cover. And pretty much that's how it started. I think I went to full-time modeling when I was already married. Can you believe it? I was already married. That's when I went to full-time modeling. So and then I had, you know, a job at John Robert Powers when we started on, but that was in the 80s.
Yeah,
The 80s was really more of the when with Tessie Makasaet. Those were like
right,
powerful group of
right.
people, you know, that
Hello,
we
Mrs.
had.
Mac.
Well, she passed. So she was one of the powerful people that we could really say really made the industry so great, you know, in this thing. And she was one of my mom. Yun ang tawag ko, mother ko siya.
Right,
Kumbaga,
right,
yun
right.
early on, tawag mo na sa kanya mother. Kasi she'd really teach you the ins and out. And then we had several of the great teachers then, and who was really, you know, in their craft. And so after that, you know, when John Robert Powers was already past nas for me, you know, I had to move on and do a lot of corporate work, which obviously I ended up also working with you in Cosmo. You know, your first ever stint as the
Right.
editor. I was so proud, sobrang
Oh,
proud ako, because you know I worked with you as a, you know, one of your major stylists in the magazine, and then that's where I got my break of writing for you as well. I know, remember that we had the title of you know, the Big O. That was the
yes.
title of the article that you gave me, Ask Miss O.
You had
Okay,
a
so the title,
column, like an
correct, a
epic
column of
column.
the Big O. So it's very Cosmo. And then I went on also to partake with Good Housekeeping as, you know, a part-time beauty editor for that. And that snowballed with Summit, and there was a lot of things that I did with Summit.
Right. Cosmo
Yeah,
goes to work.
Cosmo
Remember
Goes to
those?
Work was one of the fantastic events that we've had, because yung Cosmo Goes to Work was actually the epitome of teaching people. And that was like what,
Right.
90s pa tayo or early 2000. That was the epitome of teaching people on business casual dressing. So that was one of the benchmarks that we've had for us, no, for our company. It's because that at that time, the Docker style at work, you know, came up. So that's where we really have the business casual look. Really, talagang we really implemented that pretty much. You know, gave out the
Right.
standards for that.
And
Yeah,
it
and
really helped that you were so funny and entertaining. This one I'll never forget. You said you used to tell whatever crowd that I know we would have a symposium or a forum
yeah.
for. Parang I think you had the spiel that went, kayo ba when you enter a room, humahawi ba yung mga tao? Or
Yeah.
nakakasama ka ba sa mga taong nahahawi?
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
made a mark on me.
Yeah, and because, diba, that's what you call presence. And for me kasi to be able to teach people, or my students, or, you know, corporates, you have to be you have to be relatable, okay? And that's always been my mold. And even my daughter Miyaka, diba, she's also an image consultant. We always ensure that we're relatable. We're relatable to what we do. Kasi otherwise, we'll just be so highfalutin, so, you know,
Right.
so floppy that wala namang relevance sa buhay. So what we do is, you know, really choose the, you know, the funny moments in life, and really make us, kumbaga, you know, see ourselves in that. And there's no harm, because all of us make all of those mistakes, diba? So
Right.
masaya, even the grooming that we do. And that is why I think part of the attributes that was mentioned to me, and I've never thought about it that way, was that I was funny daw. Alam mo, hindi ko naisip that I was funny. But then
Sobrang fun.
again, you know, it comes to that point. Wait, I just wanted to greet, okay, one of
Oh,
our friends in
Yes, let's see the comments.
in the international scene is I have Julie Brandon who woke up for
Wow.
this.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
4 a.m. in the morning in the United
Hello,
States, and she's
Julie.
waking up for this. Hi, Julie. That's my diva friend, okay, from the US. So I think we have also a lot of people who is waking up and saying hello. So, I just wanted to greet her because I promised her she might go back to sleep. So, hi, Julie. Love you. Okay. Thank you for the support.
Yes, and I was gonna mention that time was like before Miss O came along. Etiquette and manners fell in the realm of high society, diba? Like you would have like like a Miss Manners type
Yeah.
figurehead with a column maybe in a newspaper, and parang she really addressed the upper echelons of society. But you brought this whole etiquette and civility business down mainstream, and you made it available to all. Why did you decide to do that?
Because etiquette is not reserved for the rich, nor is it reserved for somebody who is, way up there lang in society. In fact, this is for everyone. So in order for us to relate to it, you need to be able to give it to people in the way that they understand it, and it's relatable to their lifestyle. So, di ba, etiquette is not reserved for the rich or poor. It doesn't have a social class, but it is more for everybody because we live in a civil society. Well, that's what we're hoping for, is that we live in a civil society, that everybody can get along fairly with some unwritten rules. And that is why the reason that my company, and my daughter and I would always make it down to earth as possible. And I think that works for us because sometimes they look at us as, oh my God, you're so dressed up, you're so primitive, you look this, you look something of a, there's a certain look, no? But then when we begin to talk, something comes out of our mouth that is more relatable, hindi lang kami, oh, it's scary to look at, but people can relate to what we talk about. And I'm very happy, that's pretty much our niche, okay? Especially here in the Philippines.
Right. One of the videos that I posted on my page to as an appetizer for your show today was your video with Riza May.
My
This
God,
was
yeah.
about 5 years ago, and you were teaching her table manners.
Right.
I think this is very telling kasi parang both of you showed the sides of parang when Pinoys are perplexed about, diba, situations like that. Can you tell us more about your experience, like your most popular or common questions asked about manners and etiquette?
Okay. I think for when it comes to the dining etiquette, because that segment that we had with Raisa was supposedly only a day show, but because they that the Raisa May show thought of, my God, ang dami palang pwedeng pag-usapan. We taped again. We extended the taping to make it 2 days. And to me, that's a gold mine. I mean, you get that kind of airtime, and with Riza May, and it's, before Eat Bulaga. So you already know that's going to, a big hit, right? But the fact that I was talking to Riza, who was, very young at the time, and talagang down to earth yung questions, it made it, again, more for people, for people not to be scared to ask, how do we eat bread? Di ba? So, yung bread na kailangan bang hiwain, lagyan ng butter, pitpitin, and because that's what I see all the time. Di ba? I'm sure you still see this now. May kumakagat ng bread na isang kagatan lang, pasok na sa bibig. So, di ba? And then I have to teach her to cut, you butter, you eat, you cut, you butter, you eat. So to them, it's like, ang tagal naman yan. Okay, hindi ko kayang tagalan pa. So to them, parang ang bagal. So why is etiquette so hard? It's not so hard. It is just more of, how you present or sell yourself, and, what is proper. So that lang you enjoy, you understand what is proper. Then again, that is where the intelligence comes in. It's up to you now to decide, to use it or not. But syempre, when you're around business people, you don't want to get caught into something of faux pas in dining. So it's better that you understand also the rules. And these are guidelines, hindi siya yung made in stone. Like what I was telling my my classes earlier on is that because we're talking about COVID experience, no? So safety is first before etiquette. so why would you say that before etiquette? It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to throw etiquette out, but be safe. No, it means lang that in order for us to, let's say for example, be safe, we don't do the handshakes anymore. Okay, so that's part of adjusting the etiquette and saying that safety is really more important than the etiquette. So that's where we're coming from. So para lang hindi magulo, no? Para lang hindi magulo. Yeah.
When it comes to business etiquette, you get a lot of business clients, corporate
Yes.
clients. Uh, Obviously, these companies have seen the importance. How have you seen people evolve and grow, and how has it helped them do better in their careers?
Well, I deal with a lot of executives. I deal with managers. I deal with associates, and I also deal with C-level executives. So, if you notice, even the C-level executives, sometimes they also need the polish, no? And merong iba that they will take you in. Companies will take you in just to do one-on-ones with their executives, so that you really push them, to the more to be more promotable pa as presidents and all. So it is important because there was never a time that people would say, which one would you take, accounting or etiquette? Usually, nobody goes to the etiquette, but because it's not even provided before. So now, if I were you, go with the etiquette, no? So because it's not always taught, and before, we always tell it's the parents, responsibility to teach. Now the parents will say, no, but that's why I send you to school, so that the school will now have to teach. But nowadays, who among the parents will have time sometimes to teach if they're being left with yayas and omas and all of that? So it's very important that we now, we are teaching them, okay, of what is now the value, obviously, of all these manners and etiquette. And yes, we do have the C-level executive, we have the managers, because you're more promotable in this manner, if you know how to maneuver yourself in situations that are difficult. My God, we already have people from Singapore. Thank you so much.
Wow,
And Malaysia.
hello.
Hi, people. Hi, those are my colleagues. Thank you so much for the support. You have Audrey is there. Thank you.
People may argue in today's world, right? What's the relevance of etiquette in this world of authenticity and like being yourself and
Right.
do away with facades? People might argue, well, why not just be yourself? Why do you have to follow the rules of others, or even they might say the rules of the West?
Yeah.
And di ba parang these days merong parang anti-intellectualism or
Mhm.
anti-science attitude that pervades,
Yeah.
di ba? They might
Mhm.
say, if this is what I want to say, why can't I just go ahead and say it? Who cares? What do you have to say about that?
You know what? As part of coexisting, it's important for us to know certain guidelines, because we do live in a civil society, and that is why you just cannot do what you want, diba? Because we have to be, number one is respectful of people. Second is we have the responsibility not only to ourselves but also to other people, and not only that, like I told you this already, the 3 R's of civility, and then there's also the restraint. Not just because you can, you must, right? Not just because you can violate people, that you should. So that is where it comes in now, how you now maneuver this responsibility, because we're still living in a civil society. Not unless mag-isa ka lang, you're alone in the world, that you could do what you want. But then again, you coexist with other people who has different ideas, who have different perspectives than you. So it's more of the respect you give other people. If they have their own thing, then you respect that. If you have your own, then you also respect. But you then again find the balance in order to do it.
Sorry, for the benefit of those who don't know, what are the 3 R's? And in the first place, what is civility?
Okay. Well, civility is kind of difficult to just put it in one term. Okay. So civility more is taking a look at your actions. Okay. Constantly checking on the 3 R's on how you behave. So that would be responsibility. That's also going to be respect, and also restraint on how we behave with people. So those are the guidelines that we follow when it comes to civility. So civility is bigger than etiquette, because etiquette is very specific. It's etiquette for airlines, etiquette for dining. So it's very specific. When in fact civility covers all aspects of the life. So it's a much bigger umbrella, kumbaga, holding on to that.
And you can say, if you just look at the news today, right,
Mm-hmm.
with viral videos of very shocking racist rants
Yeah.
happening all over the world, a lot of
Right.
like
Yeah.
rage being thrown against each other. What is happening? Like, we hear about CEOs who are otherwise respected suddenly becoming racist and raging at people. What is happening there?
Okay. When you see, and I guess you're talking about well, I guess you talk about, siguro, foreign situation, international situation. There's so many things that's happening in this world that it's happening all at the same time. If COVID is just not bad enough, we have to understand people are also, now trying to figure out what is hitting us with COVID. And then comes in also with some killings, some issues that are coming out. And for you to be able to really understand and fully understand what goes on into their lives, is you have to understand the history of it all. Okay. And I think that is where people will say, they just speak about in terms of this, but they don't really understand. If you don't understand, don't talk about it. You have to educate yourself with it before you put your 2 cents. Ganon. That's how I feel with it. Because if you don't know the underlying behaviors or the underlying history of all of this, don't ever go into it. You have to educate yourself first. And that's very important because, to us here in the Philippines, there's also discrimination. There's so much of that, even in sports. And I could say this now, even in sports, there is, when, our foreign athletes are going to be banned, okay, just because they're foreign, okay, or just because they're blacks, is something that I and my family have already made a stand on that. Okay. So, mahirap, no? Because everybody is allowed. If you make a rule that every people can play, then allow people to play. So where the discrimination comes in is Pinoy mahilig magtawag ng terms, di ba? They call them in different terms, and when you call them in different terms, that alone is already racist. So even discrimination, and I guess because Filipino women are quite powerful now, I think they're beginning to understand their role in society. In fact, too much. So, medyo takot na yung women, takot na yung men also now to do something that is not right. But because culture-wise, we are afraid to say, we are afraid to speak up, that alone, we have to educate ourselves that, yes, we can do this thing. So, it's still very important to, educate ourselves in this manner. Wag lang sabat ng sabat, in prospects of Facebook page, just don't do that. You really need to educate yourself.
Where do you draw the line between, or find the balance between speaking up for what you believe is true, or sabat ng sabat, or even, like for me as a responsible citizen, I want, if I feel like my rights are being trampled upon and I feel oppressed, I want to speak up. Where do you draw the line between restraining yourself from speaking up, your responsibility to speak up so that bad behavior won't continue, and like creating a scandal that is like not decent?
So to me, especially with my post, I'm also very conscious about that because I know, it's not only my Filipino friends, but also my international friends who could see my post. And that is also the responsibility that I have. So when I was in my younger days, I used to rant, I used to speak about anything. But then, then you hone it because society change. So therefore, you have to be able to also change, how you handle your social media. So to me is this: if you do not have a point of view, okay, there is nothing that can really help society, or there's really that cannot help anyone, given two good ideas, given two good perspectives. Siguro you need to restrain first, di ba? Because kung dadagdag ka lang, manggagatong ka lang, maybe not, okay? But if it's your opinion, remember, it still is your space in social media. then people will say either yes or no. Pero wag ka makipag-away. You don't need to fight each other in your own post. Because remember, that's still your post. That's still your timeline. And you have your own responsibility to unfriend people who you feel is not, is annoying. And there's so many of those. Or you feel is just, totally gone astray. So to me, I have already talked about this to a lot of people and say, I really encourage healthy discourse, but nothing to the extreme na you will bully people or you will, some sort of to that extent. So, there's like a fine line between how you use your social media also, and that should be responsibly.
A very hot topic right now is in the last 2 days, right after the voting for the ABS-CBN closure was shown.
Yeah.
Some children of
Mhm.
the Congress people who voted for the closure have been speaking
Yeah.
up on their social media, and some people are saying that's wrong. Why are you bashing your own parent? That's not right. And some people are saying they're adult children. They have every right to voice their opinion, and it's precisely because some people have not been speaking out against it that political dynasties happen because we're so, diba,
Right.
we're so pressured not to speak. What is your
Right.
opinion on all this?
These are adults now. I think the kids are all adults in order for them to
Right.
have their social media. So to
Right.
me, remember, if you're bashing your parents, that's something else to me. Okay, I guess you need to have a further understanding and communication within your own, within your own, what do you call this? Within your own family. Because if you bash your own parents, there's something else. Maybe there's a way of communicating it, properly. Kumbaga, that I have my own mind, and this what are my parents think of this, but this is what I think of it as well. So it's more of you're posting it in the way that you really have thought about it. Hindi lang yung makakontra ka, hindi lang yung makiuso ka, hindi lang yung marami kang followers because people you think will like you for saying something like this. So not something like that. Kasi iba din yung opinion ka lang eh. Alam mo yon? Kasi ang daming tao maraming opinion, pero what is that opinion? Where is that coming from? Okay, sometimes it's more emotional more than it is factual, and that is why if you don't know or if you don't want to say, and if you have really certain facts, you get out of that situation by just not saying it, because it may be detrimental to you also. Because after which some people, when you post and you apologize, then it becomes shallow kasi because yun na nga yung tinatawag nating restraint. Kailangan maghunos dili ka. Ano yung pinagsasabi mo dyan, di ba? Kasi I've seen it also. And there's this one post that I've seen that, bahala ka, mommy. Di ba? Parang galit ako sa'yo kasi I'm pro and then you're anti. Bahala ka. Ikaw magbayad ng kuryente mo. Oh my God. Is that even something you say to your parents? I mean, really? That's kind of like way out of control. And to me, that's more emotions, di ba? Dito sa pinag-uusapan natin with issues of our whatever is happening of issues, I'm more drawn to what is the fact, what is happening, what is beyond the facts that people are showing. I really dig deep. So if I don't really know much, I would rather not say my opinion kasi I feel it's something deeper. Sometimes you see behind more than what is being told you or what is being fed to you. And that's where, intelligent decision comes in. Kailangan marunong ka ring makilatis. Ano ba yung pinapaing sa'yo? Ano ba yung gustong ipaing sa'yo? At ano ba yung, what are you biting? Di ba? Ano ba yung kinakagat mo? Intindihin mo muna ano yung pinapakain sa'yo or what is being fed to you in terms of news. So to me, I think it's very important to practice restraint. And I know there's a lot of people who's like very emotional talaga now. And with due course, with right reasons.
Right. And how hard is it to practice restraint? Like, I know you to be
You know me.
to be a very assertive person who always speaks her mind. And sometimes there's situations where, you just can't help it. What kind of pressure do you face as like the face of civility when
oh my God.
Minsan gusto mo nang sapakin yung tao, but
totoo.
you're
I think people see that in sports. I think people see that in basketball. Anybody here who's watching, and it's like they know basketball. They know me in basketball. I am somebody
Yes.
who is like, don't even mess with her, okay? Because she's like really, why? Because in basketball, I am not like Miss O, but I am a mom, di ba? Pag nasasaktan yung anak ko, syempre, spring up, I jump out of my seat and like, kind of like really curse you to death. But siguro as I age now, hindi na ako masigaw kasi yung anak ko kumakatingin sa akin, ganun-ganun na lang. So, but the thing is,
Oh, okay.
it is very difficult when we have to practice restraint, especially in situations like I am a mother, when you're portraying certain roles, like ganun ang role mo sa bahay, di ba? Or you're a wife, na nakikita mo na bubugo yung asawa mo. I mean, really, sino bang hindi taong nagre-react doon? So, those are the ways that I feel I practice really difficult restraint. Now, when I talk about civility and people ask me this, are you always the perfect example? Oh my God, I don't have a halo. If you could see, I don't have a halo. So civility is not about the person, but it is about the cause, and that is why I am also very interested, or I am very passionate about speaking about it, is because I learn something from it day to day. I may be not a best example of it, but it's something that I want also people to realize of what I have realized in life. So it makes for a better society, because lahat naman tayo nagkakamali, and I think that's the best.
And if you do commit a mistake and you lost it, you're in a viral video, what are you gonna
Correct.
do?
Oh, in a viral video. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's why I'm very careful. I am very careful of what we do, what we say, what we post. Nako, because when you put it out there, it's already there. So, kailangan talaga now, there's a lot more of thinking, di ba? Think before you click things. So, that's a lot of that talaga that we have to do. Yeah.
And especially with the COVID pandemic, right? People are
Yeah.
losing their
Yeah.
tooth over,
Yeah.
because if your life is at stake, and
Yeah.
there are viral videos already of like
Yeah.
people who lost their temper. You did post something funny on your Facebook, that look you give someone who is not wearing their mask, not
Yeah.
practicing social
Correct.
distancing,
Okay.
removing their mask while
Right.
chewing or just being
Right.
loud and arrogant.
Yeah.
What are
And then,
some of the COVID transgressions that you see? And it's really like lack of consideration for the safety of others, right?
yeah. Well, it's because again, no, it's the information and misinformation of people. So, to me, at least here in the Philippines, we're all wearing masks. I think alam na natin yon, as a basic guideline is we all have to wear masks. And there's somebody who's pasaway, they wear their mask, whether kahit na anong cloth pa yan they wear. And we understand because not everybody can buy the surgical mask, and at least they're wearing a mask. So that to me is good. But sometimes people tend to forget the physical distancing. So why do we term it physical distancing rather than social distancing? Because now in at this time, no, when you say social, kasi parang you keep people out, and which is what we're doing. And just to let you know, maybe, and it's already been stated, that perhaps the next pandemic is really more mental health. So we have to really be careful, because, di ba, not everybody really is, parang handling this situation very well. And totoo yan. I mean, the mental health issue is very big as well. So when we now see people, let's say, for example, you see people out in the supermarket who is violating the no mask and the physical distancing. This is my tip for you. Instead of you going to make them sita, or if you yourself are going to correct them, please call somebody in authority in the store to correct them rather than you. So, because people who are there in the store are more, kumbaga, that is their territory, and they're the managers, and that's their job to do it. So make sure that they're the ones who correct rather than you, because otherwise, these people are going to fight you. Now, if let's say, for example, somebody is getting too near you, you can probably look at them and say, oh, I think we need a little bit more of space here. Ganon. So, you have to speak up kasi at this time, you have to speak up. So, yung mga konting patutsadang ganon that are very respectful, that is still obviously allowed. So, that's okay.
Right. And what about all these Viber groups where many titas are spreading
Oh, meron?
unverified information. Di ba? Parang daming
Ano ba?
unverified information about COVID or walang source, laging my friend in the hospital
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
mga
yeah.
ganyan. I think you
Hindi,
posted something also about fake news.
yeah. Kasi alam mo, ang dami mong kailangan, if you immerse yourself, okay, with all the information that's out there, mental health is going to be your problem. So this is the key. And I have si Doctora also, my niece, Doctora Janelle. Sometimes I ask her, Doctora Janelle, is this good? Okay, is this information good? So I ask her, is this really true? Is this something? No. And she's going to tell me, no, Nina, that's not the way to do it. Okay. Then now I know, so that when somebody speaks up, I then tell them the information and my source. So sa akin, it's more factual. You need to have information that you source, sort of like really confirm kung totoo. Hindi yung, oh, pasa mo na yan. Eh, pinapanervyos mo pa. You're not helping, you're adding. So, what will that do to people kung meron na nga silang, they already have this tense moment in them, bakit mo pa sila papanenervyosin? So it's good to only verify sources that you bring out in your social media right now. So don't bring out na sabi ni ganito, or pass this to 10 people, mawawalan ka ng COVID, something like that. I mean, really, that's so weird. Well, thank you so much for all your great comments. Thank you.
Also, how has you work with your daughter, right? And so
Yes.
she's representing a whole younger generation.
Oh, yes.
Does she sometimes school you or educate you on, Mom, that's not the way it is anymore, especially in the realm of political correctness, right? Like
Yeah.
right now, there are many things we cannot say anymore, matters about appearance or gender or
Right.
things like that.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you talk about or have
Okay.
realized has changed?
Well, syempre, no, it's adapting more to examples to them. Parang, Mom, parang nobody does that anymore. Ah, wala na ba? so some examples that I need to level up, really, because my experience is different from theirs. And terms, the terms that I learned from them, it's also something that I use so that I am also relatable to some of my millennial students. Kasi kung hindi, naku, hindi ko maintindihan. So I still need to get to understand terms. I need to, thank God I have a 16-year-old, Miyaka is also here. So they give me terms to ano yun, di ba? What is that? I have to learn it. Especially when I'm giving education on, baby boomers and millennials. Ano ba yung difference? So when I give that, so I kind of like know because I experience. I have I have a millennial here, and then I think I'm pretty much a baby boomer. I'm not going to be shy about that, but it's really more of understanding, the content, okay, of what they say. So parang when we guest, sometimes at, BNO, and then they would say, oh, hindi na uso yun. I don't know, basta sa akin, this is the way I want to go. So I'm just gonna, tell them also my own perspective. Coming in, let's say, for example, from a parent's perspective. Para they understand and they also balance. So it's good that they get to know mine and I get to know theirs.
Since
Adjust.
you were, of course, more, because of your children, more woke about such things, what are some ways where we can also speak up to others about things that they should not be doing anymore? For example, misogynistic or sexist comments.
Yeah.
Or like when people make remarks about gender identity or
Right.
mental health. What's a good
Yeah.
way to tell? I'm not stereotyping older people, but
Okay.
usually the insensitive comments will come from them. What's a good
Yeah.
way to do that?
There are times that I get to interact with some people, and they give out comments like that, and I would say that, so why is it that you think that? Or if it's some group of friends, and I would say, oh my God, do you know that's not anymore allowed to say? Yung ganon. So because I'm casual with them, I can say something like that. But because then I explain why, okay? Or would you know that sometimes you can get caught in some liability when you say things like that? I would definitely speak up in terms of if they are really my closest friends, and be open and honest as possible. And if I figure out, if there are some people who would say something, and I would really speak up, I would need to speak, especially let's say it's in business setting, I would always repeat and say, excuse me, do you mind repeating what you just said? Kasi when you say that, di nila maulit kung ano yung sinabi nila. Kasi all of a sudden, they know that you're putting them something on where they shouldn't be. So they're a little bit scared when it comes to that. So did I hear you correctly? Or I would say, ganon, di ba? Did I hear you correctly? You said this? Di ba? Pag nag-explain pa sila, gaganon ka lang, that says a lot already, in the manner of tone. But, sometimes you do need to put people in their place. But again, you have to put them respectfully, in their place. So how do you do that? You master the art of a comeback. You master the art of comeback. Okay, ano ba yung mga art of comeback? Kailangan mabilis ka.
Any tips or examples about how you did that? Like, what did somebody say, and then what did you say? Ano yung art of your comeback?
Okay, so if let's say somebody was giving me a comment on, let's say the way I dress up, and say,
Yes,
my God, uso pala yan, yung mga ganon na, uso
okay.
pala yan, okay, or some annoying little comment that they want to give, and I'm gonna say, oh my God, and then yes, it is, and I'm really sad, for your lack of knowledge and passion.
Wow.
But ganon, get with it. I'm just gonna tell you. So it's really sometimes forgiving your lack of education in lack of information in things.
So hindi bad etiquette na sabihin yun.
Kasi sometimes people are really going to hit you sometimes, di ba? I said it in a way that is still respectful. What is not respectful dun against sa sinabi niya? She's more disrespectful, right? But when I speak up, then that means you don't do that to me. Because remember, you have to teach people, learn how to treat you. So if people treat you like a doormat and you allow it, they will do that to you. So teach people how to treat you. If they know they cannot say comments like those or mistreat you, then that's going to stop. If you allow it, then it's going to continue.
Right.
So that's my take. Yeah.
So etiquette does not mean shutting up, right?
No, definitely not. It means putting things in a better way, or saying things in a better perspective and a better light. So etiquette is guidelines of what are the certain rules that we can all follow, so that like again, there's no conflict. Because people will always tend to avoid conflict. So that is why there are certain rules. But in Facebook, there's certain rules in Facebook, but yet there are people who violate, because it's easier to violate when people don't see you. Not unlike face to face.
Yeah,
people are more careful face to face than then you're just a troll. Madali mag-troll. It's so easy to do that now. That's why you choose your battles also. Who to answer back in those forums and all.
Right. Part of what you teach is confidence and being assertive and presence nga, di ba? As you say, dapat pagpasok mo ng kwarto, hahawi yung mga tao.
Yeah.
But sometimes,
the
default mode of the Pinoy, because of tradition or culture, is pagpapakumbaba, right? So from the body language of like,
yes, they go like that.
Not taking up space, or like, even if people will pass in front of you, they make a shark, right?
Yeah.
Alam mo yung shark?
They go like this. They go like this. Yeah, they go like that. Yeah. Kasi,
in fact, my husband said, what is that shark that Pinoys make?
Or like that. They go like that, diba?
Yeah, because it's part of like, we're trained to be subservient. It's our culture. What are some of the things that you think we are taught in our culture that you think are obstacles to somebody's success?
Well, something like that, when you have to pass you go and you have to bend like that. Excuse me. Because we have been, culturally, we were under the Spanish rule for 360 something, okay? If my ano is not serving me right. So 360 plus years. And because we're alipin sang gigilid, di ba? We're alipin san something. So we're pushed to the side as Filipinos, and Hispanics were always up. So we look up to them. So we need to look down. So even until now, we were taught that to look down rather than to look up. So that's what we're teaching people is you don't have to look down. You can look up. You can look people straight in the eye. You can communicate with your body language. And that's the whole reversal thing that we're teaching them now. It's because of culture. That is why we have done that for many years. And a lot of people still do that now. And that's why we're trying to, medyo keep them upright. Shoulders is power. Remember that. So if you
Right.
want to be able to gain power in the way you talk, in the way you stand, it's the shoulders. Kasi tignan mo, when you go like this, mukha ka talaga aapihin eh. But, di ba, and when people fight, ganito, di ba, people will say, pare, di ba, palakihan sila ng chest, di ba? Kasi that's shoulders, that's power. Kasi yung, pare,
Sure.
away tayo. Nobody will do that, di ba? Wala makikipag-away sa'yo, pare, away tayo, gano'n. Wala. So everybody's, away, di ba? They always pound their chest. And that is where the animalistic trait comes in, di ba? Yung gorillas would do that. The birds would spread their wings. That's power. And that's why to us, it's the shoulder that shows power. Kaya naman nung dekada 80, nung uso ang padding, nakita mo naman ang power natin, Myrza.
Right. Diba? Ganyan.
Hindi na tayo magkasya sa door. Basta may power ang 80s. Kasi we were trying to now try 80s was one of the decades that women were trying to assert their position, beside men, na kailangan pantay. So they were copying the men's look. When men was double-breasted, ganon, padding ang gusto mo. The women had this. Talaga naman, talaga milya-milya ang padding. Overachievers talaga ang women. So that's when, you would now discover why women were dressing up like this, why Filipinos are also not sanay with looking at people in the eye. And until this day, that is where we are. Yeah.
Right. And beyond the physical mannerisms, this is also practiced psychologically. Di ba, we are raised to be subservient.
Yes.
Especially to our elders, whether warranted or not. Right? This culture of po and opo. In the workplace, so many times I have told there are people who are already managers, and then when they speak to somebody who is older but not necessarily superior, they go to this default mode of a child, and then they say po and opo. And I have told some managers, stop saying po and opo, because you are automatically putting yourself on a subservient plane when you are equals. What can you say about this?
Well, because the parents, diba? Our parents were taught to do that. So our parents are teaching us also na bawal magsalita, bawal lumaban. Di ba tayo yung pag sumagot, sumasagot-sagot ka pa. Di ba yung ganyan? Lilipad ang ulo mo. Yung ganyan, sa atin, sumagot ka lang, lilipad ang ulo mo sa nanay mo or you're palo already. So, because ganun yung orientation ng parents natin, the boomers are taught na there are soldiers. Susunod lang yan, di magsasalita. So that's why they expect that with their people as well, or the younger batch, no? We expect that the same. Pero ngayon, ang millennials, hindi matanong. Bakit? Why not? Di ba? Ganyan. And when you are now faced as a boomer questioning you feel threatened because they're being questioned and you're not sanay. So that's where the difference of generational gaps would come in. If you understand where the orientation of the generations are, it will now make for an office, or for a company understand each other and not fight. They can work together. Believe me, because we've done this already in our civility classes or generational gaps. And ang office pa naman now, 4 generational groups in an office. Yung mga boss mo, yung mga boomers, then you have your Gen X, Gen Y, and then yung millennial na naka-headset habang nagtatrabaho. Ito si boomer, tawag ng tawag. Hindi madinig kasi naka-headset. Ay talaga mag-aaway sila. They start fighting talaga in the office. And that is why, if you understand where people are coming from, the nature, then you become more understanding rather than more critical.
So is this po and opo, which I try to discourage in the workplace, what do you think it should still be practiced? I think it can be an obstacle to if you are in a position of power and you need things done, di ba?
Yeah.
Parang for me, sa house na lang mag-po and opo.
No, well, kasi, hindi mo maalis something that is cultural based. it's not easily taken away, not unless that your orientation is more is westernized, di ba? Kasi yung western hindi na sila nagpo-phone opo, but yet we still teach them that because that is galang to us, that is respect to us. If you notice, internationally they say yes ma'am. Oh, that sounds better, di ba? Yes ma'am. Kasi opo is Tagalog version, but that means the same. So I think it's more giving of the respect. It may not vanish, for a long time, but it's more of giving respect. And when people say that, sa akin naman, I find it okay, but pretty much wag lang over. Kasi minsan, makapo naman, lahat na lang ng sentence may po. Medyo annoying sa akin yon, okay? Like, yung mga service people, when they talk to you, lagi may po, like okay, naintindihan ko na mas matanda ako sa'yo, pero hindi mo kailangan every sentence may po. Okay, so it's sometimes not sincere. So when it is meant sincerely, I'm good with it because again, it's a tradition that it's not gonna go away for a long time. Kasi tinuturo pa eh. Even me as a parent, sometimes you teach that still. So it's not gonna go away for a while.
Speaking of elders, let's talk about...
Sino ba mga elders dito?
Ayun na yun. We with the glasses are elders.
I know. But we have also our friends who are elders watching, Okay.
Right. Let's talk about aging. In particular, I have been looking up to you because you seem ageless. You are growing older in years, but
Teka, is the topic about Jack de Mesa? Kasi parang siya yung ageless,
Yeah.
Okay.
Jack de Mesa is frozen in time.
Frozen in time, definitely.
How have you, as former models, where we hit our physical peak in our 20s, right? And every decade that we experience, it's like very challenging to let go of our youth, and we just have to evolve and adapt. How have you adapted with aging, and what keeps you, what's the word? Not fighting, but keeping a youthful spirit. Like, I know you don't call yourself grandma, but you call yourself glamma.
Glamma. Yeah, of course. Hindi ako bibitaw, okay? I am gonna find my way, okay? So yes, my friends, even in the international community, so they know that it's glamma because I corrected them. I say it's glamma. Okay, I would rather be called that. But my apos called me Abu because it's a short term for abuelita or abuela. So they call it Abu. So they call me that. So we have certain names that we call each other. In terms of, keeping young and all, to me, I guess it's more of, I'm glad that I have, a family who, we're mobile, we're, nurturing naman kami to each other. And especially I have a younger 16-year-old who keeps us alive and who keeps me up there, no? So my kids does that to me. And plus the fact maybe of what I do as a job, I of course need to take care of myself, and I guess that's also a commitment that I made to myself many years ago. In fact, when I was in my 30s, I thought my youngest son was already Carmelo. So, but then I said I have my body to myself all the way already. Then I was already modeling and all. But then came Tyler. Tyler came to me at my age of 40. So just to let you know. So it was not a hindrance, but the fact that my body was the strongest at 40, I was able to deliver the child at normal, hindi siya cesarean or anything. So it is, I think, more about of, taking care of yourself. I guess it's a balance of, exercising and eating the right food. If you're telling me that I eat the right food, I love chocolates a lot, but I don't eat overly chocolates. I like lang mga small packets, which I need to have. So, but I need to find the balance also of working out. So, at this time, you really need to push yourself because obviously, the body metabolism is not there anymore. You really need to push yourself more. And then vitamins is there. I keep my routine very simple, Myrza. Hindi ako malagay sa mukha, hindi ako minuto nasa what do you call that? Nasa spa for whatever facial. Hindi ako ganon. Hindi ako minuto nandun. And maybe even if I could afford it, I'm not siguro the type to do it. And perhaps that's where I thank my mom for the genes. So God bless her soul. So I think that's where, you just keep a healthy spirit, body, and mind, and, take negativity away. And if you do feel negative, talk to people who pushes you and lifts you up. My spirituality is also here. And I think it's finding the balance of all of that. It's important.
And what have you decided to still fight and let go of? Like, I'm still struggling with trying to look the same as when I was. And so it's such a struggle.
Alam mo, okay. I have reconciled, Myrza, that I'm not going to go. I am sometimes a marshmallow. We call that marshmallow. Minsan small ako, medium ako, large ako. That's marshmallow sizing ang tawag namin dyan. Si Romel, who is my, the one who sells me my clothes, is like, we are marshmallow mother. So small, medium, and large. But I don't think I'll ever go back to my size 25 waistline or to my size 26 when we were doing our fashion show, our, daily luncheon shows. Parang hindi na ako babalik doon because obviously you gain weight as you mature. But I think it's more of how you feel about yourself now that is more important. Whether what body size you have, but how much you love yourself, I think is far more important than how people look at you on a waistline level. Kasi there are times na hindi mo siya maiwasan that it gets bigger because of metabolism and all, but it's more of loving yourself. And if you can go back and if you can maintain that size 26, I mean, God bless you for the effort. And that really would take, especially for me now, it would really take a lot of, a little bit more of an effort. I really need to focus on it because I've done it before. I know I could do it again. And sometimes seeing other lolas who are, 80s, pero nagpo-push ng metal, wow, talagang idol yon. Idol yung mga ganon. And yes, I guess we could do it, but it's more of a healthy perspective of what you can and your body can and cannot do anymore. So that happens. Be forgiving, Sus Maria Joseph, may ibang time na hindi mo talaga kaya. Like what I cannot let go, siguro yung yung dye, parang hindi pa ako ready. That's why, nung nagko-COVID, parang have mercy on me. I haven't seen my hair, that inch of a white hair, natakot ako. Parang, wow, puti na pala ng hair ko. But then, I still have hair, so I guess that's one of the best
So,
parts.
sariling sikap yung hair mo?
Oo, sariling sikap yan. Okay? Hindi ko na, baka naman i-exploit ko pa si coach ang medyo gumagawa niyan sa likod. Di ba? Coach na, nagda-dye pa.
Something I have a hard time accepting is yung dress your age. Like, I still wear mini skirts. I still wear bikinis. What's your opinion on that? Because I see you wearing hot pants. You're showing off your thighs and knees. And I've heard some designers say women over 40 should not show their knees, which I reject. What is your opinion?
Okay. Well, you know what, Myrza, you're very fit and you have the body for it. Sa akin, you just go ahead. I mean, if I had your body, I will do the same thing. But there are certain things that I cannot wear now. I used to wear a lot of shorts. I used to wear a lot of short skirts. But parang ngayon, I passed it. I'm over it already. I feel like that's not anymore my style. I think my tastes have matured a little bit. So there's a certain piece of clothing that I have to say goodbye to already. And part of that would be siguro short shorts in a blazer. Kasi I used to often do that. Meron ako mga ganun, and then, wearing the shorter skirts. I would only use the shorter skirts if I really, talagang medyo planado with everything else. But, otherwise, I have reconciled with what, and parang I've passed it. Parang ganon. Even if they say, bagay naman sa'yo, yeah, I know bagay sa akin, but parang pass ko na. Okay, pass na ako. Ganon. I say no to it anymore.
But then it's the age of body positivity. And,
correct,
body positive women will say that whatever your shape or size, you can wear whatever you want.
Yeah, true naman. Kaya lang, syempre, merong ibang, the more you age na pabata ka, okay, this is what I'm going to say to the others, okay, kasi merong iba na nagpapabata, the more you dress na nagpapabata, the more mukha ka matanda. I'm just telling you that right off. I'm telling you now, people. Kasi if you don't have a toned body na talagang alaga and you're just trying nakikiuso, I mean, really, give it up. I mean, there's certain, kasi minsan yung tuhod, hindi na maganda ang shape, okay? Medyo bumaba na, sharpie na yung tuhod, may ganun-ganun na. Eh, kung hindi mo kaya i-maintain itaas yun, di ba? Una. I mean, there are times that you gotta say no. Gotta say no to it. So, that's my take.
Isn't it just a matter of normalizing signs of aging like wrinkles or accordion knees?
May iba masagwa talaga, Mirs. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say masagwa talaga yung iba, hindi ko kinaya. Masagwa talaga tignan. So, kasi yung iba parang, I don't know, it's so difficult to teach taste really. But there are times that, bakit? I look good. Yeah, sabi mo, di ba? Yes, you. But you have to think of other, kasi, confidence, kailangan alam mo rin yung sarili mo, alam mo what you're capable of, and alam mo rin yung, that's going to hit you somewhere. Kasi sometimes, isang blind ka na eh. Nabablind ka sa sobrang confidence level mo. And there are just women there na, hello, mother, why? Ganun. Why?
Nako, so, baka dumami yung mga comments ng mga Gen.
Okay lang yan dyan. Okay lang sila. But I think they say yes. Kasi, if you could just hear also the men talking, diba? Or us talking about the men na mukhang nagpapabata. I mean, come on, diba? It's just that if you see the Senate, and I'm gonna say this already out loud, if you see the Senate, okay, yung Senado natin, and they're more mature as age of all, because, ano na to eh, they have achieved that status. Mapansin mo, walang may puting buhok dyan.
Buong Pilipinas.
Wala ka nakikitang puting buhok sa Senado. Okay? So, sa akin tanggap-tanggap lang. Diba? Kasi sa akin, there's a nice cut to it. There's a nice, gusto ko yung salt and pepper. Yun, ganon. Kasi, diba, parang George Clooney ang dating. Or parang parang Silver Fox. Parang ang dating is, Richard Gere. So, hindi siya kasi basta salt and pepper. Kailangan maganda yung gupit eh. Diba? Kailangan makakuha ka ng magandang gupit para maging dignified yung look.
Pero sa babae, magiging Judi Dench.
Ay, yun ang problema natin talaga. But to me, there are already some women who have embraced their white hair earlier on. And I applaud you because wala pa ako doon. So I applaud you if you're already there. But remember kailangan ng konting makeup yon. Kailangan mabalance mo ng konting color correction yung makeup, lipstick.
Otherwise, what will happen?
Otherwise, losyang. I'm sorry, losyang it is. So you need to balance it with konting blush, konting lipstick, and then konting gandang buhok, ganon. Because otherwise, it's going to look sloppy. So there's a difference between looking dignified and sloppy. So malaking bagay yun. So you really keep it there. Yeah.
Right. About losyang, where do you draw the line between is being losyang or letting yourself go bad manners or just being yourself?
What do you mean? Is losyang being bad manners?
Like if you stop making the effort to to keep, because it can be very tiring to keep up with all the maintenance, right?
Correct.
And sometimes you just wanna
bumigay ka, yung ganon,
leave yourself
parang bumigay ka na.
Right?
Oo. I can see people na bumigay na, hindi na kumapit, hindi na nag-hold on.
Isn't that being authentic?
Well, it's also being authentic. Plus, or maybe because you got defeated, pagod ka. But to me kasi, alam mo, in order for you to look presentable, looking good, alam mo, you have to make an effort. Maski konting effort. Wala naman taong gumanda or naging maganda sa trabaho na walang effort eh. Lahat ng bagay kailangan mag-effort. And I'm sure, Myrza, you cannot achieve that body of yours kung hindi ka nag-effort. You eat well, you exercise, sama, that's effort. Ngayon, kung ayaw mo na mag-effort, yun ang bitaw. Okay? Yun ang tinatawag kung bumitaw ka na. Di gusto mo authentic, o yun ang authentic, but is that authentic to what you really want to be? Kung gusto mong may sakit ka and all, that's not authentic. Ang authentic is gusto mong maayos ka, gusto mong you hold on to that, and that's the true self. But if authentic finds a way na okay na lang, bayaan mo na. Ay, wala na, bumitaw ka. Okay, bumitaw ka. Kaya sa akin, walang bibitaw mga mother. Okay, kapit lang tayo. Kapit lang tayo ng kapit. Huwag tayo bibitaw, kapit kamay tayong lahat. I'm with you in all of this. Kahit ano nga problema nyo, kakapitan ko kayo.
It depends on how you feel. Like if you feel liberated because you stop dyeing your hair and now you eat whatever you want and you stop working out and you feel liberated and you're still happy with yourself, I guess.
Okay lang. Yeah.
Ganun, diba?
If you call it liberated, yes, you liberate yourself from all the effort. Yes. But don't complain.
Yeah.
Diba? Don't complain na masakit ang puso mo or maganito. Kasi you know naman the value of, at least walking. Diba? As part of your, as part of you, growing up or getting old. That's still part of it. So, wag kang magko-complain. Kakailanganin mo talaga ng gamot. Kakailanganin mo talaga ng maintenance. But then again, sometimes you cannot fight genes. Alam mo?
Right,
you cannot fight genes. So, minsan nangyayari yan. And doon ka na lang tayo magkakaproblema. Kasi, wala na-acquire natin yung high blood. Like, let's say for me, I think early this year, or no, late last year, I have been diagnosed with hypertension. And believe me, hindi ako bumibitaw. I exercise, among all my family members, my sister and my mother, they were all smokers. I was the only one who didn't smoke. I look like I smoke. I look like I drink, but I never did, okay? So, but then it's the genes. Kasi sabi nila, mataas daw, my family has that. So, ano ako doon? Hands up ako doon. Wala akong magagawa doon. Kasi yun na yung genes ko. Hello! Si Bea.
Hello
Donna
to Bea Amir.
Yeah.
Lala Rimando said very timely and relevant topics, including one of the kids with parents involved in ABS-CBN
issue. Marami yan. Ako, let's not even get into that. Diyos ko po. Baka,
right.
Yeah. There are so many.
We really need more time in order to yak more.
Yeah, discuss that more.
Right. But as my final question, I just want to ask you, why is what you do important and how can it help make the world a better place?
Well, parang world peace ito. Okay.
Yes.
That's like a beauty question answer. So to me, I find what I do, as an image consultant important is because my life's mission is really to empower people to be the best that they can be. And if I could do that, one student, one person who I'm talking to right now at a time, that it has improved their lives, whatever comes out of my mouth, whatever I do, that has improved their lives, and that lingers on for the rest of their lives as a positivity, that is actually the result, that's actually the rewards. Perhaps, even no amount of money can basta maganda ka ng buhay ng iba. But then obviously money is important too. However, going back to what I was saying is that it is very rewarding when people come back to you and say, I still have your notes, or I remember the time that you did this, or this made an impact to me. Sa akin, that's a ripple effect. And that's why I feel that doing this in the time, most especially that people need to hear more positivity and people need to hear balance, is very important. And that's my take on how I guess I can contribute to the world. This is a gift that was given to me, the way that I could speak, the way I could address people. And if I could use it to better people and better humanity, better the country, I will do it. Better represent my race, I will do it. So to me, I think this is a gift first and foremost from God. And I'm very thankful that I do have the opportunity to do this.
Wow.
So did I win? Did I win first place?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Thank you for the very wonderful answer.
Am I first place?
Thank you so much for sharing. Sa'yo ng corona, not the virus.
Akin na talaga. Give me the crown.
Thank you for sharing your gift and your knowledge and for showing us that in the end, it's all about decency and consideration, that it will never go out of style, and that etiquette, like all other behavior, should evolve to match the times, right?
Yes,
in the end,
agree.
It's all
Agree.
about respect and kindness towards one another. And thank you for helping us one student at a time. Thank you,
Thank
Miss
you. Thank you
O.
also, Mirza. Thank you also, people, for
Had a great
watching. Okay.
time.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you,
All
everyone.
right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. This has been TikTok, and I'll see you soon. Bye.